we are in Waycross, Georgia, and it's my pleasure to be able to spend some time today with not only my friend, but my fellow Vietnam veteran Wolfhound, Tommy Kemp. And Tommy, it's great to be able to come and see you today, and I wanted to come and visit with you a little bit about your life and a little bit about your service and so forth. So I'm just going to start by asking, where were you born and raised?
Right here in Waycross.
Right here in Waycross. Okay, and what year was that?
1943.
1943.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and did you have any brothers or sisters?
I had four brothers. I only got one now.
Okay, and where's he at?
He's right here in Waycross.
Okay, and then were you drafted or did you join the Army?
I drafted.
And what year was that? 67?
No, 68.
Oh, 68. Okay.
January 68.
Okay. And were you married at that time or single?
Married.
Okay. Did you have any kids at that time? So you went to Vietnam
Mm-hmm.
with 2 kids and married. Okay. And what were their names? Your kids' names?
Tommy Kemp Jr. the third.
Tommy Kemp Jr. the third.
And Lisa.
And Lisa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where did you take basic training?
Fort Benning, Georgia.
Okay. And what was the one thing that you remember about basic that sticks out in your mind?
It was fine. It was okay once you got through basic and AIT. It was just like going to work and going back home.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But, and then after that, I come home for about 25 days. About a month.
Mm-hmm.
I was sent to Oakland, California.
What MOS were you?
Infantry.
So you knew right where 11B?
11B.
So you knew when you went to Vietnam, you knew exactly what you were going to be doing.
Yeah, and when I went when I left here, I went to
Oakland,
California. That's when I met Don Buchanan.
Oh yes, okay. So Don Buchanan was a guy that served in our platoon, and we called him Buck.
Yeah.
That was his nickname. And so you met Buck at the Oakland reception station.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened after that?
When I left there, Buck and I stayed together until I got hurt, and then we got split up, and then he got hurt.
So what you're saying, Tommy, is from the time you guys were in Oakland, you guys went to Nam together, you went to Charlie Company together,
Yeah.
you went to the 2nd Platoon together.
Yeah.
What are the chances of that happening? I've never heard of that before.
People have signed up to go into service as a buddy plan,
Okay,
and got split up.
yeah.
But we were together from Oakland
For heaven's sake.
until we both got hurt.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Buck, he was a character. I know he was one of the first guys. You and he were one of the first guys I met when I...
But when I got to Vietnam, it was 62 people in the 2nd platoon. Everybody was telling me, y'all go to the 3rd platoon. I said, no, where they put me at is where I'm going to stay.
Yeah.
And I stayed there with y'all. Glad I did.
Yeah. And let's see here. Do you remember when you went out to the field, where was the company at? Were they at a fire support base, or were they just out in the field?
We were, the main place was Cook Chief.
Okay.
And wherever we was at, I don't remember. We were swapped around so much, you know.
Yep.
I can't remember exactly where I was at.
Do you remember who the platoon sergeant was?
No.
Was it Glover?
I can't remember where I met Glover. I know Glover and I were there. I like Glover and Captain Blackwell.
Blackwood, that's right. And I believe it was Glover because he was there.
Yeah.
Now you.
I like the Glover because he wouldn't ask you to do nothing he wouldn't do.
Correct.
And, heck, he's a big guy like y'all.
Yeah.
Me, I was small. If we were going down a tunnel, he wouldn't tell me to go. He'd ask me where I'd go. A lot of time he'll go. And that's how I got hurt. I finna blow a tongue. And I took off all my wheel gear and passed it on. I took 2 pounds of C4. And we started making the grenades, pins out of chains. So I bent the handle up the opposite way, wrapped my C4 around it. And then I got one in each hand, wrapped the C4 around it, and stuck the pin in my helmet. And I started down in the hole. And when Big Joe, we should have known it was a booby trap. It was 2 wheels. You would see it 2 wheels. Fresh dirt. Whatnot. It was too far. I know Big Joe, the movie star, as I called him. He started backing out. He yelled, "Find the hole." And he tripped the booby trap backward. And it hit me in that foot, in my right foot. Killed his leg so I couldn't move. And I was standing there with a pound of C4 in his hand and one in my right hand. And couldn't do nothing but hop around on one foot. And that's when you scooped around and picked me up. That's what I said. I was teaching him at the last reunion I was at. That he blew me up and you picked me up.
Yeah, yeah. And when we put you on the chopper, okay, that Joe was on the chopper and you were on the chopper, and I think there was one other guy that was.
It was 4 of us.
And didn't you say something to Big Joe? Did you say something like, "Well, thanks a lot for hitting that booby trap because now I'm getting out of the field"?
No, because I didn't want to go.
That's what Joe said. That's what he.
I might have said.
Yeah, he said. Tommy looked at me and said, "Thanks a lot. You got me out of the field."
I might have said that.
Yeah. Well, we would have all been glad to get out of the field.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
And then I know when they worked on me now, they told me I was going home. Smokes. I told Smokes that's why I told I didn't want to go. Smoke. And Smokes said, "Man, go ahead on, because you had a wife and children, and
That's right.
go home."
That's right.
Because if we could get out of here, we'd go to.
That's right. Do you remember the very first time we went on an ambush patrol?
No.
Do you remember any ambush patrol when we went out?
I remember some of them, but I don't know where it was at.
What did it feel like to you to go out at night like that?
They got to one night they used us like if some of the other groups got in trouble, they used us for backup.
Yep.
And they woke us up one night where everybody went to sleep, but some of us would try to sleep. And I can't remember what company. They want us to go out to help one of the other support groups, wasn't support groups. And some of the guys didn't want to go out. it was so dark till you had to hold hands.
You couldn't
On-
see.
on account
You
of
couldn't
the
see in
whale.
front of your face.
Yeah. And then they said, they didn't want to go out. I remember saying this and not bragging or nothing. I just remember God said, "Look, come on, let's go." That's because if we was out there, we want somebody to help us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so everybody got up and put on this stuff. We booked up.
Yep. Do you remember the very first time we ever got in a firefight?
And we was in so many, I don't know. I know we was in Dodge City. That's where I took the pictures of. That's when I crawled through them browse. And I said, I never thought I'd crawl through browse before. And I crawled through them browse. I didn't know I was hurt till we got back. And all them browse on and whatnot.
Oh, they cut you up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And,
What happened in Dodge City? Do you remember? Did we get it? Did we get it? Did we make contact in there?
Yeah. We started through one of the lieutenants. You know, we were wearing them bronze colored things for the second. Was it first lieutenant?
That was second lieutenant was bronze. Silver was first lieutenant.
Okay. Instead of wearing the one that didn't shine in the sun, whoever our lieutenant was then, he put the silver one on. And he got shot right ahead of us. And when he got shot, we was in one part of Dodge City then. And they shot him right in the head.
That was Lieutenant Wunderlich.
Okay.
And that was Dodge City West. And our platoon was on the edge of a peanut field. And some of us walked out because we started to walk out and they ambushed us. And of course, the first shot got him.
If you made it through that first shot, you're pretty well all right.
Yep.
And that
did his RTO get shot? And
that's who was on the. No, Joe was our RTO.
Yep.
Joe, myself. I can't remember who that third person was.
But I think the RTO got shot like in the stomach or something, didn't he?
No, Joe was our RTO in Dodge City. That ain't possible.
Was that the very first soldier of our group that you saw get killed? Was that the very first time you saw somebody get killed?
That's the first. I think one of the first I seen just pow.
Just dead right there.
First shot.
Yep. And then how about the first time you saw somebody get wounded? Was it like a booby trap or something like that?
I didn't see him get wounded, but I went out there. Okay, we lost Captain Blackwell. We didn't lose him. I don't know what happened to him.
He got replaced.
Yeah. And then we got this other captain there.
Eichner.
What was his name? I loaned him a camp. Going he went on a hard come back. He was a sergeant. And when we got back,
Sergeant Hanna.
Yeah. The Captain Blackwell went to Booby Trap Valley. And we had we had a body count that first night they sold out. And he sent us right back in the same place. They said, we tried to get him to drop us off somewhere else and work our way back around there. You're gonna hear all these helicopters coming. No, he put us out in the same spot. That's when Sergeant Hannah.
Yep, that's correct.
I had there. What really keep me off. Sergeant Hannah was bleeding. And I had Sergeant Hannah blood on me that night until we got some digs closed. I picked up his right leg. I had my weapon in my right hand. And then we had not four. We had two other people holding. Oh, we had this captain holding the left leg. When we got back when they started firing on us, when we got back to the
fire support base?
No, when we got back and got our power going, they'd run away.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got back where he thought it was safe, he dropped Sergeant Hannah's leg, and that pissed me off.
What I was going to ask is did
you asked me about Cal?
Yeah.
But what I was trying to say, I can so when they first, this lady that was working with my daughter, she stayed on the computer all the time.
Yes.
And,
that's how I found you.
I said, I know Big John.
I remember that.
That's how.
I know. I remember it well. And because I had to go through her in the beginning, and then she would call you, and
my daughter was working, but
that's right.
They worked on the stove together.
Yeah, that's right. Tommy, did you go on R&R?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. And you got to go see your wife?
Yeah.
Did the two kids get to come?
No.
So just the wife?
Just the wife.
And was that a pretty good R&R? Did you enjoy Hawaii?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
And somebody, I was trying to remember somebody went on it, but it might have been somebody I met on it. I met somebody, I don't know. I went on a Mexican fella, I think, and somebody else, but I can't remember who. Tall white guy. I can't remember who. I got pictures of him.
Did you receive any awards or citations?
I found out after I got back here. It took me for the longest to get my Purple Heart. And then I found out when I put in for disability.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 Purple Hearts, but I had never received neither one. I got it on paper, and I went to VA, and they told me that they had to send me a letter. It's been so many days that I didn't hear nothing from them. I knew that about 3 years.
Did you ever get the Purple Heart medal itself?
I got the Purple Heart.
You got the medal?
I got the Purple Heart, yeah.
Okay.
But I never did get my Bronze Stars.
Oh, okay.
I supposed to have 2.
Okay.
I like that jacket.
You like that?
Yeah.
And let's see here. What date did you leave Vietnam? What month was it?
I don't know. They shipped me around from okay, they cut my foot in Bontown. Not take that back. They cut my foot, then they hurt me so bad over there till I laid on the table and cried. But I was scared to move because there's so much ligaments and whatnot on the foot, and they gave me 3 shots, I think. And then this wait a little while, and they folded it back like a star. And they asked me, said, no, I asked him. He took something like an ice pick. They call it a probe.
Oh, yeah.
But see, when I first got hurt and they took me out of the field, they didn't do nothing to me till the next day. And it was Lieutenant at night. I gave it mixed up. There was a black sergeant in there. E6. His brother Teddy said, when I got in there, it was right by the fall. He said, and then the nurses started coming in, the little thing they had for the hospital. He said what they need to do before they cut it off, he said they need to work on that now. I said, because tomorrow that hole's gonna be closed up. It's gonna be harder to find. And that's what they did. The nurses come in there and them big wheels, they wanted to leave, so they left, and the nurses left me till the next day. And the next day, they swelled up and all kind of infection was coming out the side. There was a guy shot. He was shot right here. The blood went clean through. And I hopped down from my little thing named Coochie on crutches. I think that chair lit up, but Linda didn't know how to do it. They took it off. I got in there and I looked at him, and they took something looked like a piece of rope to me, and they took a little thing and bullet went clean through. They pushed the thing in him and run down his back, and they were so hey, I'm looking at him, and the doctor that was working on him stopped. He said, you got my big silver pan. Put your foot in here. Some warm water and Vaseline, something they call it. Pulled it in there. And they started pulling that stuff out. And then they went back to work on me.
When you left Vietnam, Tommy, what did you do for a job when you came home?
Went right back to where I was working.
And where was that?
Sermon, Lincoln, and Mercury.
Okay, say that one more time.
Sermon, Lincoln.
And Mercury. Yep, Lincoln and Mercury.
Oh, okay.
I
And
worked for a car dealer.
oh, okay, very good.
I was painting cars.
Oh, a painter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the body shop.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want you to think about this. Over the years, what has your wife meant to you?
Seen everything. My first wife and I split up. When I went in the service, I think my first wife sat me in there. I was wild and whatnot. And my 2 kids was from my first wife. And then Linda and I downstairs. Just our daughter down there. And then I met her. Then we had one child, but Linda had already had 2 kids. You know, I found out that, well, I knew she was always crazy about me. So she said, I don't care what you do, you get with somebody else, and I'll come back to you when you get tired. When this thing here worked out, we were married 32 years.
32.
Mm-hmm. You know, since this thing started, I heard one, and I wanted to be, and I didn't really know what was going on. I felt hungry all the time. I'd eat, I still feel hungry. And then it felt like something was inside of my stomach. Like somebody taking the fingernails, just pinch you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. And then one night I was in the house. I said, baby, come on, take my ass to the hospital. I said, something ain't right. I felt like I had a tennis ball going through here and coming out my back. And they brought me out here, put me in that machine and all. And when I come back that they brought me out. They had done already told her. So we think he got pancreatic cancer. And so when I come back downstairs, she was sitting over there crying. What you crying about? And she told me, I told her, she's over there crying, I ain't going nowhere. And then they wanted to go biopsy. Some things started growing on my stomach. So they cut me. They cut me across here. Took the things off my stomach to run a biopsy. And then they went in right by outside my navel. And so they threw.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they come. And they said they think I got pancreatic cancer. And it's done spread to my liver. So I've been taking they gave me chemo. You know, all my hair, I had hair, you know, all my hair going now. And everything was growing back. I went to told them I need to get a poke for them. The chemo will burn up your veins. And so I got a poke for them. I don't know how long I've been taking it now, making my hands feel funny.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
If you could give your kids, your grandkids, and grandkids that you and I don't even know yet,
Yeah.
if you could give them your best advice, what would it be?
In short-winded. I think I gave them my best advice. I told them, don't mess around with drugs, hooked on drugs, and stay out of trouble. And I said, get hooked on drugs. I said, if you get in trouble fighting yourself, call me. But if you get hooked on drugs, don't call me. Because that's something you ain't got to do. But so far, I had no problem.
That's great.
My I got pulled
Is that 13?
almost shit. Got one of my oldest son, and he's 15. Now. And he pulled a gun on him. He didn't shoot him. You know. But he got out of that all right.
Tommy, is there anything else before we end the interview that you'd like to say to your family before we end the interview?
Well, not really. Just I'd like to be to another reunion. I remember we won't make it, but we just been caught up in some things that couldn't really do like we want to. You know, but we're living fairly well. I get over this hopefully soon.
Well, let me add. Go ahead.
And I'm glad to be able to see y'all again.
Yeah. Let me ask you one final thing, and that's a favor for me.
Okay.
Now, you know you and I are going to die one of these days.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just
yeah.
the way it is.
Now you just made me think. Didn't you say you sell insurance?
What's that?
What did you tell me you do?
He said, you used to sell insurance.
Yes, I did.
You done quit? Are you retired?
Oh, I'm retired, yes.
Okay.
But what I was going to ask you is, you know, we're all going to go. When you get up there and you go through those gates of heaven, and after you talk to your folks and your family and everything, would you do me a favor?
What's that?
Would you find Buck? And would you
Go through your paper. Go through your paperwork. You told me Buck died.
He did. That's what I said.
Oh.
Would you find him when you get up there? When you get to
okay.
heaven, will you find Buck and Sugar Bear Taylor, and Joel Brown? Remember all those guys in our platoon?
You remember a guy that was named Doug? He got killed on
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah. But what I want you to do is I want you to tell those guys something for us. Tell them that we never forgot them, and that we'll be there pretty soon.
Okay.
Just tell them, hey, the rest of us are coming.
Okay.
So, and if you'll do that for me, I would really appreciate it, Tommy.
Okay. Good to see both of y'all.
Oh, I'll tell you what, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I would have been here a long time ago if it hadn't been for the COVID.
Yeah.
But I finally got my shots, and that's what Verlinda said. Tim, is there anything I've forgotten?
I think we're good.
Tommy, this is great. I'm so glad to see you. Well, I'm going to tell all the guys that I saw you.
Okay.
And I'll tell them that you send your best regards.
All right.